Welcome to Game Changer Weekly is Raw. Oh, wait, wrong show. Sorry, my bad. Got a little hyped
I like
up.
Raw is War. I still miss that era.
Yeah, the
Raw
Raw is
War. It's like 99, 2000. Yeah, I hope everybody had a chance to kind of enjoy Raw a little bit. I know this is a GCW show, but it was a historic Raw, and we wanted to make sure that everyone had a chance to watch it before we started our little show. Reed Harris Cooper, refresh.
Sorry, refresh, Reed, refresh. We just started. Didn't miss out anything.
No.
Sorry,
hello
John.
to Clown. I was just going to say hello to Clown, hello to Reed, hello to William. Great one is in here tonight. Who else we got? Lowy. We haven't seen him in a while. Welcome back to you. Did I miss anybody there?
Well, we do have our special guest already here and waiting to go and waiting to discuss all the events that happen on Raw tonight. As we are joined by Mr. John Wayne Murdoch. Oh, let me fix that for you. My bad, John.
You're good. I'm
How you doing tonight, man?
There we go.
Sorry about that.
It's better. Views just went up. It's good.
Well, I'll give him his intro. We have a decent amount of time with him. We'll just kick off and go from there. John, I like to have a little intro where everybody has a chance to get caught up on who you are, what you've done, and just gets everybody on the same playing field.
Yeah.
So I've just take her easy here. I'm going to go ahead and just run down a little bit about who you are, buddy. Listeners, we have a very special guest with us tonight. The Duke of Hardcore, Mr. John Wayne Murdoch, a.k.a. Damien, a.k.a. Damien Payne, 36 years old, 22 years in-ring experience. He started training at 14. Over those 2 decades, he's wrestled a documented 1,119 matches. I would say it's above that.
Oh, yeah, gotta be.
Oh, yeah. John is a 34-time champion, averaging almost half a year per major title reign. 2 of those championships he won as Damien, 11 as Damien Payne, and the other 21 championships as John Wayne Murdoch. His longest title run was 499 days as the Horror Slam Deathmatch champion. And I'll list just his repeat championships only. He's a 6-time IWA World Champion, 6-time USWO Tag Team Champion, 3-time USWO Music City Champion, 2-time USWO Heavyweight Champion, 2-time PPW Tag Team Champion, 2-time NWA Mid-America Tag Team Champion, 2-time IWA Tag Team Champion, and a 2-time GCW Tag Team Champion. As of right now, John is the current unsanctioned pro hardcore champion, 164 days and running. And with his partner,
I lost
Reed,
that one.
You did?
Yeah, I've lost. No longer unsanctioned hardcore champion.
Well, then fuck that last part. And with his partner, Reed Bentley, as the Rejects, they are the current XCF Tag Team Champions, 158 days and running. So far, they've won 6 titles together. Other tag teams John has participated in: the New York Rockers with New York Gangster, the Bama Boys with Josh Crow, Crash and Burn with Josh Crow, Headbutts and Light Beers with Mance Warner, and finally the Mega Bastards with Alex Colon. John participated in 66 tournaments in his career. 30 times he's made it to the finals. That's 45%. He's been a tournament winner 10 times over. That's 15%. Murdoch's first match at GCW was a Tournament of Survival on June 5th, 2016. Since then, he's wrestled 126 matches with us, won the NGI 7 tournament and the TOS 9, attained 2 tag team titles and the Ultraviolent Championship along the way. He was awarded the 2020 IWTV Independent Wrestler of the Year. He ranks on the 2024 PWI 500 at number 187. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And he's considered a master of the hardcore and deathmatch styles. He's a deathmatch staple in multiple promotions. His ability to absorb punishment and push through injuries give him the reputation as one of the toughest wrestlers in the world. He's rugged and no nonsense, a true blue-collar fighter. Murdoch has cemented his place in deathmatch wrestling as a generational figure. Many will be watching his tapes for years to come. And tonight, we're fortunate to have this future Hall of Famer with us. Listeners and fans, the Duke of Hardcore, Mr. John Wayne Murdoch. Welcome to the show, John. How you doing, buddy?
I need that every day I wake up. You just need to, every day I wake up, I want that kind of introduction into to start my day. because usually it's get up and see what Deathmatch Elite has to say about me. So I start off my day pretty good, getting
Their
that good
hearts,
mindset.
their hearts are in the good right place. It's just misdirected sometimes,
Yeah.
So I'll just roll right into it. We have a decent amount of time with you here. We'll just get you going. What companies did you watch first, and who were your favorite wrestlers? Easy question.
Man, it was more just whatever local promotion would go to the Nashville Fairgrounds, and my dad would take me. And like early on, it was Tracy Smothers, PG-13. My favorite, like Tommy Rich, and he was like this long-haired baby face, blonde hair, and he would make the people like come unglued. And like all he would do was like crawl on the mat and reach for somebody in the front row, and he would just make you cheer for him. And I fell in love with just the fact that somebody had that much control over a large amount of people. So yeah, early on it was very Southern like style of wrestling that I loved.
So then what got you interested in the performance style of pro wrestling?
And just being able to early on take like we backyard wrestle or whatever, you just be able to know, okay, as a performance wise, I could take this. Like the pain doesn't bother me. So like I really jumped right. Like my first day of training was like this NWA main event show before it, and like I locked up with the guy, and he was like, "Oh, you already know more than I do." That's literally my first day of training. Like I was really thrown to the wolves at 14, and like I really had to stop at first and like, man, I'm not learning anything here, and I'm not getting any better. So I went, and it was hard to find places that would train you at 14. So I finally found a place, and I started really training, going to classes on Wednesdays and getting better. So yeah, just being able to take it and just like, okay, I can do this. I've never been in shape. I've never been into the gym, and that's on me. Somebody else's fault. But like just be able to take the punishment, I've always been able to do.
Very interesting. So you were trained by Tony Falk. Were there any other influential people that were instrumental in your early growth?
No, early on it was mainly Tony and putting me in the ring with guys like Raven and Chris Michaels. I guess Chris Michaels early on really helped me. Chase Stevens, Wolfie D, just guys that I'd grown up watching like Wolfie D, and being able to be in the ring with him, that really helped me like hone in like the selling and being able to go out there now and just be this dickhead heel that can make you laugh or just do whatever I can to make the crowd have some kind of reaction, whether it's laugh at me, boo me, want to kill me. It doesn't matter. I'd prefer like if I can make you laugh, it's fuck you, that was funny. Like that's cool. Like, 'cause we all go to wrestling to get away from something, or it's an escape. So I can make you laugh. Yeah, that's cool.
When was the moment in your career? Because like how you said, you go do the comedy, the death match, you have a very versatile like character and everything else. When did you feel it like that you felt comfortable enough that you understood and got everything? Like what was a moment that it kind of clicked for you where you didn't have to think about wrestling and just kind of being able to perform instead of react?
I think during the pandemic, honestly, during like when everything was taken away and you've got nothing, and then you come back, and my run at ICW was a lot of death matches, a lot of fucking just hardcore straight weekends of being just fucked and just being beat up. And I was like, I can be this Memphis style heel. I know I can. That's what I was raised on. It's what first 10, 11 years of my career was doing. So I was like, I'm going to switch, not because I can't do death matches, because I can do death matches every day. I know I'm built for it. But my body's just fucking like, I'm not punishing myself. I'm punishing everybody around me because like I'm fucking ill. I'm beat up. So it's like, let me switch and do some comedy. Let me entertain people the other way. the fans of me loved it. A lot of the fans that like the more deathmatch John Wayne, they obviously hate it. But I'm getting paid to go out there and make somebody laugh. I'm getting paid well to do what I'm doing. So, like, if you're with me, you should be happy for it. If you're not, whatever. I'm not going to win you over anyway.
Well, some death matchers can't do both. So that, again, goes back to the versatility of, you know, who you are. Now, I know you touched about getting thrown to the wolves here. After several years of wrestling, you did change over to deathmatch. I don't have a count of years. How many years were you wrestling before you flipped that switch to deathmatch?
So 10 plus, a little over 10 years. I started doing death matches. My first death match was in 2011 at King of Death. So yeah, I had at least 10 plus years under my belt before death matches.
I was going to get to this question later, but I'll ask now. Someone wants to get into deathmatch wrestling. How many years would you tell them to go do wrestling before they come to the deathmatch side?
I think that is, I think honestly, that's just a question. The answer is it depends on the person. Like, just as long as you have the fundamentals and you have a good understanding about pro wrestling, then I think that's when you could switch over. But there's no telling how long that's going to take. Like, I did 10 plus years and still learning deathmatch and still didn't have it down until like the pandemic and stuff like that. So if you can do it in 5 and you know you're confident in your wrestling, okay, great. But it might take you. So yeah, there's really no answer there. It's when you're comfortable, when you have everything you can learn about pro wrestling as far as the basics and stuff like that. And then you can go into transition into death matches and keep people safe. It's also just being around long enough to gain somebody's trust. Because now, like in death matches, there's always somebody trying to come in and get that quick clout from doing a death match. So, you know, have some clout coming in. That's what I'll say about Cardona. Cardona did not need deathmatch wrestling. He did not need to do the match. He was fucking already somebody, and he come in and did it, and he fucking showed out, and he put more eyes on us than any of us could have done by ourselves. That's the reason, like, a lot of deathmatch guys are like, he's calling himself the deathmatch guy. Well, great. He deserves it.
Well, he's working. You know what I mean?
No,
Most of the
yeah,
people
but
back
I'm
there,
just
you know,
saying,
yeah.
he does fucking put eyes on the product or anything that he does. So he's doing us a service.
I had a quick follow up there with you talk about being trusted with them, like the newcomers. Like I think the most recent one we could go to is Zilla, having that matchup with Zilla, and you being trusted with especially with the kind of knowing what was going to be his future in the short term. What was like the thoughts and your feelings going into that, and kind of, I don't want to say walk him through his first death match, but go through the first death match with him.
Yeah, that was nerve wracking. Just, you don't want to be somebody, you never want to hurt somebody ever, but you don't really want to hurt somebody that's got potentially millions of dollars on the line and comes from a family like he does. So like, that was nerve-wracking that day. And also, he's a bottle of energy. At the time, he'd probably had 20 matches, 30 matches, think maybe somewhere in there, maybe even less. So he was a bundle of fucking energy. He didn't know what to expect. So yeah, being trusted in that, and Brett putting me in that position definitely meant a lot. I think we hit it out of the park. Do I ever think I'll see Zilla in a death match again? No. I think he had his fun. He did it. He checked it off. He doesn't need it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be just fine on his own.
Now, do you have any moves inspired by wrestlers? I know you mentioned the gentleman who was reaching out, and I also see you do that. You sometimes do reaching out.
Yes, that definitely is a old school. You reach out to the people, you make them feel involved and stuff like that. So definitely that, and just the not really moves, just the shit I do in between the moves or getting if somebody's shooting you off to the rope, you react to that, oh shit, or you just make something, you say something quick and funny. Like a lot of people think that selling has to be ooh, ah, ouch. It can be words, it can be oh fuck, it can be whatever funny shit you can say. Like my favorite thing is just to turn to somebody and say, shut the fuck up, like that. Just a quick like thing, like it. I don't know, man. I'd like to think I get this whole Southern thing on a whole different level of like selling and shit like that.
Now, do you feel with the generations changing that you're keeping alive some of that true Southern deathmatch attitude and crowd interaction? You know what I mean? When it comes to you know better than me. I'm a Yankee, so you know better than me on things like this. I feel like you really do live and breathe and keep alive something that not many wrestlers coming from the South are really preserving.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, I'm Southern at my roots. Made my name in Tennessee, or didn't even make a name in Tennessee. Struggled in Tennessee and Nashville and trying to get seen and doing stuff. So now, like, yes, I definitely have that in my background. Also, not a lot of people want to be chicken shit heels. Everybody's afraid to look bad. Everybody wants to be a good heel, a cool heel, a tough guy heel. There needs to be the chicken shit. Let's back off. You know, not afraid to hit from behind. I'm not afraid to put over a woman. God fucking forbid. Jesus Christ. Like, I'm not selfish at all with my body, my time, or anything. And I need to be 100% need to be sometimes, because this is wrestling. They will take advantage of you. But yeah. Sorry, I'm high. I'm rambling. You caught me.
You know,
4 or 5 blunts, but
this is beautiful because we're going along great, man. You're doing wonderful. We'll go on to Reed Bentley. Where did you first meet him?
Met him at IWA Mid-South. He was at the King of Death. I did the second night. We actually did a 6-man tag, and we were on the same team. He does a dive, and the ropes at that King of Death were shitty, like most things at IWA Mid-South at that time and moving forward. But he come off the ropes, and like nobody caught him, but I like caught him in my arms like a baby. And then like after that, like he was more part of the locker room. I was more of a regular. Yeah, we just met at IWA, and I hit it off because I'm looking at the locker room and I'm like, he's the guy. Like, he's Ian's right hand. So like Ian must see something in him, and he's fucking good. And like, I think Reed's more talented than I am as far as in the ring goes. He just doesn't get out there enough. He's got a really good job. He's got shit in his personal life that he does attend to. He takes vacations. He does all that. So yeah, he's living a good life. But yeah, that's where I met Reed. Oh, IWA Mid-South.
Man, he comes off well-spoken, very intelligent, and a very kind guy. Yeah. And
he will
those three things.
He will let you know how smart he is. He won't let you forget that one.
And what was the story behind the tryout show Rejects name?
So, yeah, I did my tryout in 2008. He'd done his, I think, a little after mine, but we wasn't accepted. I went to the tryout show as the New York Rockers or whatever, and we wrestled the Hooligans, and they got picked, obviously, because they were fucking great. And, like, I don't think Ian, he had told me later that he judged us as a tag team, and that I would have got picked because I sold my ass off in the tag match. If fucking he just judged us as a tag, and so he turned us both down instead of splitting us up. So that's why when I got the call in 2011 to do King, I jumped on it because it was my way back into getting an IWA.
No kidding. Besides Reed, are there any other wrestlers that you're good friends with or close to that you'd like to just shout out or kind of put into that same bucket as close like Reed?
Oh yeah, Satu Jen. Fucking Satu
nice.
is one of the best people. I love Akira. I help all those guys out. Dale Patrick's, I love Dale. Shane Mercer. I'm not going to mention anymore because if I forget other people, they're going to fucking be mad at me. But yeah, just a lot of guys that I've helped out and I've put my name on. Like if I ever drop somebody's name, like I talk to them. We're close. Like I do not try to vouch for anybody that I'm not close with.
Now here we go into deathmatch time. It's now time to go for this route. How did you find GCW or vice versa?
So Brett had hit me up about the first TOS, and I was like, hell yeah, that's great. I'll do it. I had already done the match with Gage in 2015, so I already had buzz. So yeah, I did TOS, the first TOS, and that was my first ever meeting of Brett or Danny at that point. So yeah, that was my first interaction with him, was that first TOS. Which, what a fucking show. I hate that injuries changed the finals so many times, but what a hell of a show. That, like, I'm standing outside and I'm watching the roof bump, and I'm like, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, what a show.
It's cool to see them sit back and like look at it like a fan, because like that's fans. That's like us. Like every show is like, holy shit! Like, what am I at? What am I doing?
No, yeah, I'm standing outside, like watching this with the people, going like, this shit's what wrestling is. Like those Hal days were fucking awesome as far as deathmatch wrestling goes.
All right, then this will go right in. This is kind of funny. What's your worst bump taken? See, I knew that was you're working through the library.
Yeah, hands down had to be the toothpick bump I took in Chicago with Marcus Crane. The brain buster on the toothpicks. Fucking, I still got one in the back of my arm. He had him like in the back of his head. Like Reed's literally in the back, like cutting him out of our fucking body. Yeah, that was the first and last time I ever bumped on toothpicks, was with Marcus Crane.
Any nagging injuries you got going on right now outside the normal?
We don't have the time. There's some nagging injuries, some mental health. We don't have the time. Now, as far as anything really goes, like my hip sometimes bothers me. Just so many destroyers coming down, fucking straight on your tailbone, and then your hip and shit like that. So my hip, but yeah, other than that, I'm here.
Yeah, look at James says John Wayne Murdoch hits a beautiful Canadian destroyer.
That
Deep South destroyer is beautiful, man.
Everybody always thinks everybody thinks that I get mad if there's a destroyer earlier in the show, but I'm like, no, I'm a fat fucking pale guy doing it. It's still gonna look different. Doesn't matter. Let him hit it. Let this flippy guy hit all the fucking destroyers he wants, because I'm 200 pounds of gooey white shit hitting it. Great.
You're the only one delivering the Deep South destroyer.
Yeah, fuck it.
Real fast, I guess we got breaking news for you. Your sixth and final opponent has been announced for the Hammerstein ladder match, as your best friend, Dr. Redacted, is the sixth and final competitor.
Dr. Dick, really? He leaves the fucking mist at home. He does. You know how long it took me to get that green shit off of me? I'm walking through the airport covered in green mist because this asshole. And now you add him. No, I'm happy. That's cool. I'm happy for everybody involved. Like that whole show is gonna be insane. I can't wait.
What's the average healing time for a death match? What I'm saying is you do the average death match somewhere. What would be 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get the most of the glass out?
I mean, yeah, I would say so. But the hard thing about that is somebody like me who likes to fucking do multiple death matches in a weekend or whatever, you're just fucking cuts onto cuts onto cuts. So like it could be a month before you're fully healed, and then you're just going right back into another one. So it's like you get just healed enough and then you get cut up again. It's a vicious cycle.
Do you have special sheets for your bed so that you can, you know what I mean? Like, so you're not bleeding
do
through
that
all
or lay on a towel,
Yeah.
so you stick to the towel instead of your sheet, or like wear a long sleeve shirt or something like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to go to that because of how like durable your career seems to have been in my eyes. Like I haven't watched your full career, but it seems like you're never get hurt. You have like the most death matches that I could possibly imagine with all your tournaments and all those things. Like what's your maybe secret or suggestion to newer wrestlers for your longevity, especially being a deathmatch wrestler and with deathmatch tournaments?
Honestly, there's no secret other than when I come up and I was coming up, it was the rise of Matt Tremont. Matt Tremont was taking off. He was fucking everywhere, doing everything. And I said, you had to think of it as I've got to kill myself just to get half the play that this fucking guy's getting right now. He's everywhere. He's fun. So I just got used to trying to work twice as hard to get out there because Tremont was everywhere. And I'm not taking that away from him. Good for him. He's fucking great. I've shared so many great memories with Matt. But that's the reason was coming up and trying to do death matches, and the rise of Tremont was fucking hard. So I just learned to work twice as hard as anybody I could.
What weapon or gimmick do you feel safest using on an opponent or a dancing partner?
You gotta say a tube, honestly.
Yeah.
Gusset plate, still everybody's a little freaky because it's a fucking 1,000 little spikes. But like you just trust the other person. A tube can go so great. But that's the bad thing about a tube. It can go so great, but it takes just a second for it to go fucking horribly wrong. Yeah. And so, but I do feel comfortable in swinging tubes and knowing, and I hate to say this, but knowing the right way to do it, because there's no right way to hit another grown man. But there is like ways that you both can leave without having to spend a night in the hospital. So,
do you feel that's the weapon that you use better than the average deathmatcher, or do you have another one that you feel like, the average bear, I'm pretty good with this one over most?
Maybe a knife, because there's not a lot of things you can do with it, but you try to make it unique. Like the biggest reaction I'll get with like a knife or something like that, or a broken tube, is like lifting up somebody's arm and like sticking it to their armpit. And it always gets the fucking, like, it gets like a gasp of like, oh shit, this, because two reasons. One, like that's very sensitive. No one ever thinks about that. And two, everybody knows about the Nick Gage thing. And everybody knows, and it's just an instant you can take people back to something, or like, oh fuck, like that's like we're taught as death, like that's a no spot. But like going there and being skillful enough and a professional enough to do that and to have somebody walk away, like something like that's cool.
I'm also going to let everyone know in chat, we are going to also get to the questions here. It's just we're rolling through some good ones, and John is literally talking about the next question before it gets there. So
I got all these questions starred that we're going to ask. There's about 8 of them right now. So
yeah, you won't be forgotten. What percentage of being a deathmatch wrestler is mental versus physical?
A lot of it's mental, especially tournaments. Just mentally going, like, I've got to go out there and kill it round one. If you're winning, then you're automatically going, but I still got to save enough for round two. And if you're winning that one, then you're like, shit, now I've got to like end it in the finals and deliver there. So it's like taking your time and your body and what you can give that day and dividing it up to where you can fucking make it last. A lot of people sometimes they go too hard in the first round, and they're fucked the rest of the show. Or whatever. It's all about like spacing that time, and I think that comes out of I have been to a lot of fucking finals and going 3 rounds, going 4 rounds, and knowing, okay, I know my body, so I know how much I can give for this round. I know what I can give here, and then I'll have all this saved up for the finals.
Now, going back to something interesting I wish we touched on earlier, what current deathmatch wrestlers do you recommend others watch today that may have, have impressed you in the last couple years?
Dimitri from Texas. I know they really pushed for him for NGI, but like he's fucking great. Redacted's fucking on a rise that no one can argue. Atticus is, if he's in foot in, is he out of deathmatch? Who knows? But Atticus as a total performer is great. Tommy Vendetta, MM3's dipping more into death matches. So yeah, there's a lot of good coming up. I just don't want it to be filtered with a lot of shit as well, trying to get in and on that clout, and guys just swamping the boat, trying to get somewhere, But yeah, I think right now we got a good crop of guys coming up.
You do. It seems like there's a lot to work with. And I think we've seen an effort from Brett or GCW in about the last 4 to 6 months that it's time to bolster the roster.
Well, fuck, Mr. Danger, another guy that begs to be in a death match. I'm going to pull back the curtain just a little bit. What he wanted to do in Atlanta and what he was willing to do is fucking insane. Like they had, like a lot of people, Brett said, no, let's pull back just a little bit. Like he wanted 200 tubes. I mean, he probably brought 200 tubes with him that he wanted to use and building stuff and stuff like that. Like he wanted everything right then, and he was all in. So, like, I told him, like, out of the non-deathmatch guys I've ever been in the ring with and had their first one, he was the best.
Wow. I wish we had about 20 hungry GCW performers just like him that's bringing their own weapons, full of ideas, ready to go, constantly pushing the envelope, putting everything on the line, yada, 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 no complacency. I like seeing that.
Yeah, he's definitely made for it. He's definitely, he embodies what GCW is about, and fucking finding that person and pushing them to the moon. And yeah, he's built for it for sure.
So let's just say little Murdoch wants to wrestle. He comes to daddy. He says, hey, I would love to learn how to wrestle. After a couple years, I'd like to jump into deathmatch. Dad, could you give me a couple guys you'd like for me to study their tapes? Who would they be?
Nick Gage, Matt Tremont, Alex Colon. I would say Drew Parker, because as far as what Blake's into, I think Drew Parker, and I think Arrow Boy, because he's a big fan of Arrow Boy. But really? Just knowing by what styles I think he would be into, yeah, he's always been a Nick Gage fan, so definitely him. He's always loved Matt, definitely Matt. So, and Alex, yeah. So those 5.
You don't have to pick one, but who would you send him to for training? For deathmatch training? Matt, yeah, through H2O?
Yes.
Okay, fun time, John. The JWM2 is having an 8-person deathmatch tournament. This is a completely independent show, so there's no bullshit that you have to deal with. I need you to give me 8 people that you think would give you the best deathmatch show, and I'll count so you don't have to worry about that shit.
Okay, perfect. Redacted, Drew, Matt Tremont, MM3, Tommy Vendetta, Dimitri from Texas.
2 more.
2, Reed Bentley.
1 more.
She's retired. It would be Sawyer Wreck.
Bring it. That's okay.
Yeah, Sawyer.
Never say never. Never say never. Who
never
goes
say
over
never.
in the finals?
Drew over Sawyer.
Nice.
Because I'd like to see Drew versus. I'd like to see Drew and Sawyer. Or did they do NGI? Was that one of the rounds?
It was like a triple threat, I think. I think someone else was involved, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'd like to see that in the finals somewhere.
So, who in the locker rooms brought out the most in you over the last couple of years?
Gage, 100%. Yeah, without a doubt, every match has been do or die feel, fighting for your life. Gage definitely brings out the most in me.
So,
okay. Go for it, man.
I must say, I kind of have a question. I don't know how deep you want to get into it, but with Gage seemingly to appear in other companies, and we saw you wrestle in other companies before you got to GCW, where do you think this is kind of going with the landscape of deathmatch wrestling with different companies seeming to work together? Because someone asked earlier here, what are the chances we see a ICW NHB invasion of GCW?
I don't think it will happen. But I think
something along those lines. So like everyone working together. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think it will happen. I think it's cool for fans to think that, and it's healthy for fans to fantasy book things. But I think everybody's doing their own thing, and that's sometimes is good as well. Like everybody doing their own thing is sometimes better than people trying to work together than fighting and it making shit even worse. Like right now, I think it's good. I think CZW's doing what they're doing. Obviously, they're trying to rebuild a brand. ICW is doing what they're doing. They're leaning into more death matches and being a death match heavy show. And GCW is doing what they're doing. They are traveling around the world. Their shows are jam packed with anything you want to see. Like they have a variety of everything. So yeah, I just don't see one it ever happening, and two the benefits of this any partnerships.
We always hope for the best.
No, I get that, and that's good as a fan. And that, like again, fantasy bookings and what if that's cool. I just, from a wrestler standpoint, I don't see the benefit of it because, I know things backstage and all that, and I think it would make things worse. Like, first off, let's just say this: could you ever fucking imagine the headache of Danny, DJ Hyde, and Brett trying to ever book a co-show together? I don't want to be a part of it. I don't anywhere near it. So no, I don't see it ever happening.
A lot of papework.
That's an awesome table for 3 episode right there. Just sit those 3 at a table for 3.
No,
shit.
That's a headache.
So I have to talk about the match here that you've had here in 2025. You just recently returned to the chains after a 1-year hiatus, and the ace of ICW came out swinging for the fences in a huge return match. I'm interested. What got you and Danny on the same page? Was this just a money thing, or you both had to just have a phone call or two?
We talked. There was no phone call. We communicated. I said how I felt, and that if I was to ever come back, I didn't want that to negate everything I did say and everything and how I felt. I did feel used. I did feel shit on when I was told that I pretty much priced myself out of dates and that I would come back for that price. He agreed. I don't know if it's the right thing to say that I'm back. I live in Kentucky. If they're in Chicago, if they're 4 to 6 hours away, and the money's there, I'll go do it. I'll be there. But I don't want to go to Boston. I don't want to travel. I don't want it then to come to money or a hotel. I'm not trying to put myself into that position of trying to fight for money on a hotel. Or look, if I can go, you got the money to pay me, you got the trans to cover it, and I can go home, I'll be there. And to his credit, and I'll say this, I shit on him public for saying he couldn't pay me. I will say it even louder in public that he did pay me. He did give me what I asked for. He did everything he said he was going to do. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, like, I don't have to hold on to this hate, this anger, or anything like that. But, you know, it is what it is. When he can afford me, I'll be in the chains. When he can't, I'm happy with sitting home. I'm no longer offended about being on every show or whatever. That's other people's. I'm not trying to take a spot from somebody else there. I'll come in when it's there, when the money's there, do my thing. But I'll still fucking go to GCW, do what I love to do there, be the chicken shit hill, be whatever I want. Like, a lot of people's like, the Duke's back, the old Duke's back. But like, I can be both. Why does it have to be one or the other? Like, why can't I fucking enjoy life and enjoy doing what I'm doing and still go to ICW every now and then and fucking do what I did Saturday? Like, go shirtless at a gusset plate board and fucking do whatever. And I mean, I've still done crazy shit at GCW too. Like, I want to live happy. I want to make money. Like, that's it.
It sounds like you've gotten older, wiser. You've gotten smarter about how you handle transactions, business transactions. And it all sounds great. Honestly, I want to give you kudos because you sound like someone who has dealt with the problem and gotten themselves in a better situation. I don't think the John Wayne Murdoch would have been able to do that at the 10-year or 5-year mark. I mean, most professionals aren't able to stand up for themselves as much at that, time.
I'm at the point now of like, I've crossed everything off as a deathmatch wrestler, and I don't even know, like, it means different things to different people, but as a deathmatcher, I've sort of made it. I've done everything that you can do. I've wrestled everybody I've ever wanted to wrestle, from Jun Kasai in a main event in Japan multiple times. Same with Takeda. Wrestled in England, Mexico. Like, I've done everything. So now, like, I'm not sticking around, or I don't have to be nice to try to get what I want. Like, you're gonna pay me, or I'm just gonna sit at home and continue to do what I'm doing. So I think the relief of that is like, okay, I can say no because I don't need anything anymore. I'm just doing this now because I love deathmatch wrestling. I love the fans. Again, I love making people react. Like, put me out there, tell me I'm gonna wear a fucking I'm gonna wear a diaper and suck on the end of a bottle. Great, let's do it. Pay me, let's do it. Or hey, go out there and roll around in fucking 200 fucking light tubes. Okay, same energy. Let's do it. Like, I just want to have fun. 2025 to me is about doing whatever, having fun, and just fucking continuing as long as my body can hold out.
Any matchups you're looking forward to over there at ICW that you normally wouldn't be able to get into somewhere else?
I would like looking forward to really testing like Tommy, Vendetta, the Bev for sure. They all seem like they are the next like ICW to carry that company. Because again, like, even with my shit with Danny, I did do a lot for ICW. Like, I gave too much of my body to that company not to care deep down about it. And that's another thing, like 5-year anniversary, it just made sense for me to go to Chattanooga, 4 hours away, and do this match with Danny and beat the fuck out of each other, say what we had to say to each other, and just put it all out there. And to his credit, he took a lot of it on the chin. He admitted to a lot that he had done wrong communication wise and not being able to tell the truth. Like, I didn't know how bad the company was in financially. So I'm ready to cash in my fucking chip of like, yo, I've put in the work, fucking pay me now. And there might not have been the money there. And I got pissed. I went off, I quit. I come back, the money was there. Can it be there every show? No, I get that. So
it's a small business.
yeah.
Anybody who's ever run a small business understands you could be cash poor. You can have everything wrapped up in investments, and then there you are. And that's any business. I can't say anything bad about that. Anybody who's ever had a business has probably been in that position. That includes me.
And another thing, like I got a couple messages instantly of like, I hope this means we're still gonna see you in GCW. Like, it's weird to me that just because I stepped back into ICW for that time being, that was some reason me saying I was never going to be in GCW anymore. That, or it's just fans sometimes are weird how they think that, and it's not the case. I love everything that Brett's done for me. Like, took me to Japan 3 times when he did not have to. Like, I fucking owe Brett a lot. So no, I will take any GCW date I can. I asked about a date. He sent me a fucking list of dates. Like, there's still work there. So
Yeah.
no, like any rumors, any doubts that like this just means I'm gravitating away from GCW or how they're treating. I'm treated great. I'm flown. I'm paid. I'm treated well. I get fucking to have fun. Yeah, I'm 100% happy.
I think a common misconception a lot of fans have is that they think wrestlers have battle lines that generally aren't there. There's a lot of wrestlers that are in opposing companies, quote unquote, who get along just fine. And these are just the bosses that may not get along. This doesn't come down to the workers. Half the workers just want to work. They just want to get paid. And if it's here or here, if it's good money, they'll show up and do their job 90% of the time. There are exceptions.
At ICW, I'm sitting there talking about how fucking excited I am about Hammerstein with Manders, like another GCW guy. It's crazy. Just that there has to be these battle lines or whatever. Like, I think that's my growth. I used to be all about the battle lines because that was an Ian Rotten thing. Ian fucking had to have an enemy. And so I was all about that shit. But now I'm like, no, it's dumb. I just want to work places. Like, I do still have places that I'll absolutely never work. And just for my own fucking, like, I will never do it. But, like, I'll take, if you've got the money and you can bring me in, let's do it. Let's do business.
I was just surprised. So many people think there's battle lines, and just because you work at AEW doesn't mean you don't have friends in all these other companies. They don't cut each other off. You know what I mean?
And like, I will never undercut. Here's another thing that people don't like. I will never undercut my GCW booking, meaning I didn't go work ICW cheaper than what Brett pays me, because that's unfair to Brett. And I would never do that, nor am I going to ever pick dates over each other. Like, it's never been an issue, and Brett knows that. So, yeah, I never undercut nobody. Like, he paid me the price he said that he wouldn't, and that's all that mattered to me, and that's it. Honestly, I don't care if anybody's mad, because no one else is paying my bills but me. At the end of the day, like, my girl has a fucking great hospital job. What she brings home, I try to bring home and match, so it's not all on her. And like, no one's gonna pay my bills, help us out, but us. So,
okay, I'm jumping ahead. Maybe, is there eyes on a second run with the ICW American Deathmatch World Championship, or is that looking way too? You know what I mean? I don't want to just book 30 dates on you all of a sudden. But
no, yeah, and not even. It's not on my radar. And even if I had the 30 dates lined up, I still wouldn't want it, because I held it. I did that. Now that's somebody else's role. Like, I never want to go into somewhere and take somebody's spot or cut somebody that they were next in line. But now that we got John Wayne back, let's put him there. I don't want that. I want to come. I want to have fun with somebody. I want to go out there and fucking have the ability to just fucking total chaos. And yeah, I just want to come and have fun. There's no reason for me to ever be in that title picture at all.
Oh geez, sorry, my phone's going off here. I'll get into the next thing because we've already had listeners ask about it. We knew somebody was going to ask about Drake Younger, so I'll just tell you what I had here. Yes, he's already laughing. People forget that these things are more common than they know, but I watched Drake Younger's interview with the Boulevard Bullies, and I'm going to paraphrase, but what I did was I listened to the whole interview and I wrote down from Drake's words, and I wanted to kind of put it together and see what you had to say. I put that Drake said he had built up frustration from personal things spilled into business. He went to the show and handled it the way he felt it needed to be handled at the time. He said, out of respect, you let him get it out of his system. He also said, you've both spoken since then, and both of you said what you need to say to each other and agreed, basically, no need to go further. My understanding, John's, my understanding is two men just had a disagreement. Does that summarize it pretty well?
I don't think it was so much a disagreement as so much as I made a decision. I did not want to wrestle him. The whole frustration he's talking about is like during the pandemic or before the pandemic, right when he was coming back, he was going to try to get on this run. But he had said some fucking stupid shit. Some horrible shit that he should have never said. I had made one comment that he would never be in the chains. And at the time, I'm the fucking locker room leader. I'm the guy. So I felt like that was a comment that should have come from me because this fucking dude had said some shit that was fucked up. And I stood by it. One by one, people wrestled him. And I never treated those people bad. I have friends that wrestled. I have friends that did it. Good. Go do it. I hate that he said that because I wanted the Drake match more than anybody. I was standing behind the curtain at IWA when he said goodbye on the Jeff Jarrett show when Karen come out there and fucking held up the show and was talking her shit because Ian didn't pay him. I was on that show. Like I told Ian, I was like, yo, I know Drake's leaving a fucking hole in Deathmatch Wrestling. I'll try to fill those shoes. I wanted that fucking match. Also, when I worked Gage, I went to dinner a few weeks after that King of Death, and it was me, Ian, and Reed, and we sat down and we had dinner with Drake, and he put the matches over. And the one thing that I will share, because that was the one thing I did agree with him, that we would never share the contents of what we talked about or try to fucking share screenshots and that fucking slime ball shit. I will share one thing. I did tell him, I said, I miss that Drake that I had dinner with and that not this fucking whatever this was. So yeah, I know I rambled, but yeah, the fight was because he fucking got pissed because I didn't want to work him. He thinks I cost him money, but never once is it's always I cost him money. It's never I cost myself money. It's never once taken fucking the responsibility for what he said and all that. As far as the fight goes, he can look at it however he wants. I know the truth. He come up fucking, I was turned around on the phone outside before my match with Sawyer at NGI, not thinking about a Drake Younger fight, not thinking that I even got to fucking watch my back. And he fucking does what he does. Now, I thought he was fucked up, and this is one of the things I wrote him. I thought he was fucking fucked up because he was not. It was almost like wrestling punches. It was a very weird fight. He had slipped and fell once. He got back up. And all this time, I'm backing away like, yo, Jimmy, like somebody get him. Like, what the fuck's going on? Because I've got a match to do. And here's another thing. And if I'd have fought him right then and there, one, it's not going to solve anything. We're never going to work each other. Two, if I'd have broke my fucking hand. stumbled and fucking done it. Now I fuck up a show. I fuck up Sawyer Rex last night in professional wrestling. Was not something I did, so I let it go. And I wrote him. I said, dude, you fucking. I was on the phone with my son. Yo, that was another thing. My son heard it all because he's on the phone with me. He's like, he said, I didn't know that you were on the phone. And when you, like, as I come around, I see the phone and you're, like, he pretty much is admitting that he come up from behind in the messages with me. I didn't see the phone as like when you turn, I see it. Whatever. I know he went over there and said, why does the phone matter? That's splitting hairs. That was one of his comments. It's splitting hairs because I'm not expecting this. Like, if you were to just come up and said, hey, after you're done wrestling, we need to fucking handle something. Great. Let me take care of my responsibilities for the night. I've got a job here to do. It was totally unprofessional, but yes, we did talk. We got to the root of the fucking issue of him being frustrated. And yeah, I was like, we have nothing to say. I never want to work with you. I never want to do anything to deal with you. And then I don't like how he tried to make it seem like we were friends and we just squashed it all under the bus, because we didn't. The one thing I will say that he did do that I respect is he was going to make some 2-piece and a biscuit merch shirts or whatever. And he did say he offered to split the money with me. And I said, no, if you think that I've cost you money, I don't want nothing to do with it. You take it all, don't split, because I don't want no contact. I don't want no back and forth. I don't know money transactions with Drake Younger. I don't want nothing to do with you. But I respect your decision to get it out of your system. He did put me over for being tough because he thought I was going to swing back on him. And I don't operate like that. Like, it's not, like, to me, that doesn't prove nothing. Yeah, we fought in a parking lot. Great. We got heat on the building. Great. The cops are here. Great. I don't want none of that. None of that's needed. Then that's why I tell you, if you feel like you've got it out of your system, great. I have nothing. Like, let's move on.
But I look at it that way too. It sounds like you guys had a disagreement, moved on. Nobody's pissing in either's pool. You know,
I just wish at the end of the day it wasn't I cost him money. It was looked at as you cost your fucking self money. That's another thing. All these deathmatch guys that are quote unquote canceled or fucking whatever, they look at me like this fucking woke dickhead leader, and they all want my approval, or they all want fucking me to wrestle them. Like I can somehow wave my fucking Murdoch magic wand and make them accept it again. No, I'm just going to fucking end up getting myself put on your fucking list, and now I'm out money or I'm out opportunities and bookings because I took up for you. That doesn't get me nowhere. Like, you guys did this shit to yourselves. Stop blaming me.
Now we're switching up here, buddy. I was more like, I just wanted to see that men had to butt heads. They had to talk it out. They don't agree, but they both went separate ways, and nobody's, stepping on anyone's property anymore.
That's another thing. I just said I didn't want to work with him. I said he'd never be an ICW, but I was gone at ICW. Did ICW touch him while I was gone? No. I was hit up plenty of times about shows, and I said, yeah, I don't give a shit. I just don't want to work with him. Like, I never tried to cost him bookings. He did it to himself. But okay, beating a dead horse. It's over with.
Yeah.
He did. The one funny thing he did say was that I had to check in with him if I come to Orlando to do deathmatch or Florida to do deathmatch. That's funny. Like, whatever.
Initially, from the fans' perspective, we thought he was working. He had his shirt on, the 7
shirt,
and everything. So I'm thinking
that was I think he thought that I was gonna take the coward way out and call the cops. So he was padding an alibi. This is a promo. This is a wrestling angle. I'm filming something. But I told him another little bit I'm going to reveal here. One of the lines I said is, I said, lucky for you, I hate fucking cops more than I hate you. So ain't shit, like, I ain't calling no fucking cops, whatever.
Yeah. Well, hopefully all is well that ends well. I actually just that was more than I expected, John, obviously. So
I'm sorry.
No. I felt like it was a good time to put a cherry on a Sunday that I think was pretty much already drank and going out the door and gone. So I figured I'd ask because a lot of listeners had asked about it. And
of course I get like he's gonna frame his side of it to benefit him and benefit his side, because I think he does realize he made it was a bad mistake coming to do that. But we did talk. He did have that right. We did fucking agree to go our separate ways. I will agree with that. Some things he made it seem like we were buddy on, or that I'd agreed that he didn't fucking come from behind. I never agreed to that. But, no more drama. It is what it is. He had his last death match with Akira. Good for him. Good for him for wrestling a guy that helped out and at least taking care of him. So
good. All is well for right now. That ends well.
Yeah. You got me heated. Damn it. You got me heated.
I know. I just wanted to address what was there. I'm not Mr. Gotcha with questions and stuff.
You're good.
But
you're good.
And we just wanted to give you the space we wanted to give you the space to give it your side of the story and everything. It's like, this is for you here.
That's the thing. Murdoch never had the platform to do the same thing, and we felt that it was fair.
And I mean, I did
to let his side.
I will admit, I 100% fucked with him hard. I would make Christian comments or drug comments pointed towards him, because I 100% feel, because I will never take anything I said back. I 100% agree that if you were going to spew the weird Republican bullshit that you were spewing, that opens you up to me fucking with you, and relentlessly, sometimes uncalled for, maybe, but I will fuck with you if you say something stupid like that. I get we all have opinions and all that, but opinions are one thing, human rights are another, and he was fucking with human rights and shit like that. So yeah. Okay, we're off of it. Wait.
Any wrestlers on your radar you'd like to face that you haven't seen lately?
I'd like to wrestle Dell again, especially after his Japan stuff and all that. I'd really like to have another one with Dell Patricks.
Go ahead, Brant. I see you were thinking about a question.
Well, I just had a question. I didn't know if you wanted to stay on that topic, but about the filming of the times in life of John Wayne Murdoch. I'd just like to hear like some stories about how that was for you. And some people were asking about the bunnies, and they're kind of disappointed there's no bunnies tonight.
Oh, well, I honestly, I only have one bunny at the moment, because the other bunnies I had in the videos, they got bigger, and I just felt like I couldn't give them as much space as I really wanted to. So I rehomed them to really great homes. They all have fucking great space and all that. Like, as much as I loved them and as much as I did take care of them, at the end of the day, like, I wanted what was best for them. And if I could give them more space, then that was the right thing to do. So I did that. Yeah, I had fun filming that. Definitely putting Blake on there, and the bum stuff and everything that come out of that was the right. I still hold the record, by the way, of the most views on that In the Life Of thing. I'm still number one. Quite honestly, it makes me even happier because number 2 is Danny DeMano, and he just fucking hates that he's not number 1. So yeah, hopefully I die with that one.
Let's pretend you're leaving GCW. You get one more match. Who you going up against?
Gage.
100%.
If I could pick, it would be going out to gauge. But honestly, if that wasn't on the table, and I know this is going to be a weird answer, but it's my love for this person, it would be Jimmy Lloyd. I don't think anybody ever puts Jimmy Lloyd on their list of last opponents, or puts Jimmy Lloyd on their list, or thinks of anything of Jimmy Lloyd other than a joke. But Jimmy Lloyd is fucking one of the best dudes around. Like, genuine, like, yeah, I love Jimmy. Like, it's the one fucking person in pro wrestling, one of the few that, like, I will tell, hey, I love you. I'll see you soon. Like, we have that, like, bond.
This is my last serious question. Is there something about you or your character that you wish people knew better and maybe you'd like to set straight?
No, I think I'm pretty much an open book. I think that, yeah, see what you see is what you get. I'm not. I do think that a lot of people think that I'm just looking for things to fucking cancel somebody over or get one up on somebody, and I'm not. I just have things that I stand for, and that I'm 100% behind, and I won't break on those things, even if it pisses people off. But yeah, I think I'm an open book. I think that if you know me, you've seen what I've said, or you've seen what I said. The shit I say on the mic, it's just not. That's me. That's just dressed in a wrestling, like, in a wrestling setting. But everything I say, I 100% mean.
You want to hit some of those questions over there
Yeah,
on
let's
chat
knock
by
them
any
off.
chance? Let's knock them off, because we hit that hour mark with him just about a minute or two ago.
All right. James Nader asks, can you explain what happened with Cologne at spring break in Dallas?
What does he? I'm not sure what he means.
Well, then Reed afterwards said you threw a gusset plate into the crowd. So I don't know if it has something to do with a gusset plate in spring break with Dallas, or if that's kind of all he said at first.
Maybe I think the endings to our matches were very, like, not well received to the fans, because they were always weird, like stoppages or like stuff like that. I think if I could go back and do the Cologne matches again, I would try to get our egos out of it and just one of us lay down for the other straight up. Like, I just think, yeah. So I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but I think it might have been the weird finish. No one was hurt. It just was the way that it was done.
All right, that makes sense now. That's all coming together. That's probably what they meant. I think I'll save that one for me.
Yeah, if he comes back with something, let me know.
Okay. Next one is glass panels worry me the most. This is from Hot Take Hylas. Late last year, you got a nasty chunk taken out of your shoulder. They think it was against Dr. Redacted, and ref had to strap it up. They wanted to hear any stories or on that.
The pains in Detroit the last few times have been fucking so horrible. They're thick, they break weird. I know we had a tag match, one of the Detroit shows, with Violence is Forever, and Dom just got shredded up. But I don't think the gash in my arm was from a pain in the Redacted match. It was from the very beginning of the match, when Redacted baseball throws the bundle at me, and actually the scar is right there.
Yep.
So yeah. So I think that's what they're talking about on that one.
All right. William Bruno asked, what did the feud and matches you had with Alex Colon and GCW mean to you?
A lot. I think that was again, hindsight's 2020. I think more of it now of what we could have done if we had just sat down and really. And I'm not even saying whose ego was worse, mine or his. We both had deserved what we had got. He fucking carried GCW Ultraviolence on his fucking back, back to back tournament wins. And like, I'm this fucking guy that's getting all this love from another deathmatch company. And yeah, like, and I'm on the other side seeing all the fucking hate I'm getting from, I think the fans made that whole thing interesting because they would stir the pot and fucking, do what fans do. They, Clone's my favorite, fuck you. Murdoch's my favorite, fuck you. Blah, blah. Like, so yeah, I think if I could go back, we could just fucking do things a little different, match wise, finish wise, that we could have got more out of it. But as far as what they mean to me, they're the 3 biggest paydays I've ever got in wrestling. As far as I know, fucking the dollar thing and all that doesn't bother me. Still the 3 biggest paydays I've ever got. We did do good. We did great business as far as financially goes. I just think that we could have did more for the fans that waited so long to see those matches. Like, I still think that Cage of Survival is fucking up there with one of the best ones, but I wish we could have just got out of our own way, ego wise, or fucking feeling like I needed to win this, you needed to win that. It was about the fans, not us.
All right. Next one is William Bruno as well. Who are your favorite female deathmatch wrestlers?
Oh, Casey Kirk, hands down. Gotta love her. Casey, Charlie Evans, fucking Emerson Jane. So many. I think the pool's deep.
Emerson.
Yeah, Emerson J. Yes. Like, yeah.
She took a beating last time we saw her, man. She's tough as nails.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But I'll always have love for Casey for everything she put her body through and the run she had and shit like that. She is the most deserving person in the world. Oh, Rena. Fucking love Rena. Like, man, so many. Like, it's almost a deeper pool of like really great female deathmatch wrestlers than the guy side. Like, man, it's crazy.
All right. William Bruno also asked, would you go back to ZZW?
No. Next one.
Great one, ass.
Great one, asks. I'd love to see you wrestle Sonico at Pacific North Death or in Vegas. Also, are there any cool memories of the Iron Man series from the pawn shop shows in Newport Richie?
Other than them,
these are legit.
Other than them sucking as far as fucking just brutal, like just like 15 minutes rolling in glass, great. When you get past the 30-minute mark, 45-minute, an hour, and you're just like, there's this one point in the me and Eric match where like I could not be hit in the back with another tube. It was just so just raw, like hamburger meat. And like those shows are alone. Like I was getting in a car after that and riding 13 hours back home after that, just miserable. Yeah, I have one. I do know that I have one more left in me. I'm going to do one more hour death match, and then I'm done. They're not smart. There's a reason why they haven't caught on. No one wants to do them. It's hard as fuck. Yeah, it's brutal. But I will do one more. I don't know with who, but I will do one more.
I think this is our last question here. Little Skittle asks Murdoch's favorite promotion he's wrestled for.
Man, I think a couple for different reasons. ICW, as far as like the death matches go, I am a death match guy at heart. Like they went full in. Some of those early shows were fucking just a spectacle to be a part of. They were crazy. Like me and Oren doing the Destroyer out of the fucking barn at an ICW show might not have been great crowds. Just shit like weirdness sometimes will stick out and make a memory. Obviously, GCW again, like, and I'm not just saying that because this is fucking called Game Changer Weekly. Like, they truly took me around the world. Like, this Southern guy from Tennessee, like, this fucking pale fucking guy like Brett, like flew around the world. So GCW for sure. I really enjoyed Fourth Rope. Hopefully I can do something with them after
Collective,
Mania. But yeah, I'd say those three that I've wrestled for recently.
I believe Fourth Rope was announced for Collective meaning.
Yeah, but I think it's for the culture show.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad. I missed it.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Which
Yeah,
is
you're muted,
great.
John.
I hope that does so good.
There we go.
Like Fourth Rope production, everything's top notch. West Side Gun definitely fucking works his ass off to do that stuff. So
okay, a couple fun ones and we're done. I need childhood Murdoch questions. What was the video game you dominated when you were a kid?
Resident Evil Director's Cut. When I was younger.
I think that's the second person we've had say Resident Evil.
That is.
Well, before
Cole?
that, I guess
I'm about to
early,
say Cole, yeah.
Super Mario, and then Donkey Kong. I used to be a fucking beast at some Donkey Kong.
Old school. Yeah, you're in my heart now. That's the old school stuff.
Yeah.
What music were you listening to?
Oh man, I've been unfortunately, I'm a juggalo, like closet juggalo here. I got the tattoo, but man, ICP fucking all day long. I got out of it for a little bit, but yeah, I was knee deep in the Fago.
How does it feel being able? Sorry, real fast, just because it's connected. How does it feel like being as a kid a fan of them, and then now they're possibly working with JCW? Like, how does that feel like with that?
Oh, great! Like the time I got to do Bloody Mania was insane. Was one of the best things I ever did. Like getting to watch an ICP concert and then going to wrestle for them right after was great. I've lived many lives because of wrestling, so I'm lucky.
That might be the quote of the night right there.
That's a good one.
Favorite cereal?
Lucky Charms.
Favorite cartoon?
They just never put enough fucking marshmallows in there, man.
Nah, you got to get on Amazon and buy a bag of marshmallows.
Yeah.
Put your own in. Favorite cartoon?
Oh man, I enjoyed Cat Dog. I was a Rugrats kid. Doug.
Yeah.
Yep. Real Monsters. If anybody remembers that, like
fuck yeah. 90s Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
that's what you were.
There we go.
Yeah, because I was born in '88. So,
are you afraid of dark Friday nights?
Yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark is cool as fuck.
Yeah, Salute Your Shorts.
So, oh my God, Salute Your Shorts. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good fucking show. I love the opening. Celebrity crush. Did you have one as a kid, John?
Boy Meets World. Fucking.
Why trying to get everyone in trouble every time?
We get a lot at the Panga, actually. That's kind of funny. A lot. Once you hit a certain age, it's like, that tends to be the answer. Let's see here if there was anything else. My famous question: do you have any ghost stories or a spooky story that's happened to you in your life you'd like to share? I think this will probably be our ending one. I like this.
No, let's end it on something else because I've always wanted like a ghost experience, but I've never had anything like that ever happen.
All right, fuck it. Here's our last one then.
There
Show
we go.
and tell. Show and tell. Is there something you got around that you'd like to show people on camera and tell them about it?
Ask again. I'm sitting on my couch. There's nothing interesting other than my rolling tray.
I got a last question. Anything you would like to say heading into Hammerstein?
Ooh,
that's a good one. I think that yes, that's actually a good one because I think that if you are still holding the bad Hammerstein show against GCW, that we're about to come out and knock it out of the fucking park. I think that this one, Brett has, I think he looked at the first one, seen the issues or seen what was wrong, and he's coming to this one to fucking destroy. And I think everybody involved, from our match to Joey gonna go out there and fucking kill himself in his match. Yeah, I think we were all ready to walk out and just give a big middle finger to everybody that's talked shit. Everybody that said the show's going to be empty, to everybody that said it's not going to fucking be well, we're wasting our time, we're relying on old stars, all that bullshit. like the GCW guys are gonna go out there and kill it. So yeah, just come ready to eat your words on this one.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Yep.
Murdoch, John, thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
I've enjoyed this.
I wanted to have some fun there. We like to try to keep it positive, but of course we have listeners who have questions that go into things that aren't always positive. But again, I'm happy to see that you guys grow past it. You learn, you do good things, and good things happen to you.
Yeah. No, ask away. I'm open. I'm an open book.
As I do with everyone else, especially when we have as much fun, John, you're welcome to come back here anytime. I don't care if it's for 5 minutes, show a rabbit, smoke a blunt, say goodbye. It all works for us. Absolutely. Thank you everyone for coming in here tonight. John, do you want to push any socials or anything while you have a chance?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, the newer one, not the old Instagram. The Duke Hardcore. I'm on Twitter, the Rabbit King, on Facebook, of course, John Wayne Murdoch. I'm open. My DMs are open. If you want to ask me more questions, buy some merch. If you're a wrestler wanting to send something for me to watch, critique, I'm open to that too. So yeah, just hit me up.
Now, real fast on that old Instagram page, did you know it was still active?
No, a long time ago, a fan hit me up and said, "Can we make this and run it?" I was like, "Sure, go for it." But yeah, I'm glad it's still got some pictures on it.
Well, thank you so much again, John. Yeah, letting us have fun with the pictures, promoting it, and thank you very much for your time. And definitely can't wait to see what you have in store for us at Hammerstein and everything else for 2025, the year of John Wayne Murdoch. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Stay with us for just a second. We're going to close out the show, and I'll say goodbye to you on the
he said, he said, see you, John.
He said they let me fucking out for recess. I'm gone.
Right now.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up tonight. I saw Quirios and Melk and several others show up that I didn't have a chance to say hi to. New Music Inferno. Hello. Dezo, it's been a while.
Chat. Yeah, definitely. We ignored chat there, but kind of the thing kept on going. So I saw the good questions. So I was just starting them. So that way later on we'd get to it. But thank you all for your patience. And yeah, that was fun. John Wayne Murdoch was awesome. As always, they were awesome.
Yeah, it's just another one. So a reminder to everyone that next week's show, we are going back to our Tuesdays, and hopefully everybody enjoys it. We're going to have Brett Lauderdale on the 14th, which is a couple days before the Hammerstein show. And then that next week, we're going to have him on a couple days after the Hammerstein show. So for people who are real big fans, I recommend tuning in for those two shows. You're going to hear straight from the owner's mouth what he thinks, what he has planned. And then the next show afterward will, of course, be what had happened, what he thinks about everything. So we're going to do everything we can. Dezo, we love you too. We love everyone out there. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. Of course, you could be anywhere, but you chose to be here with us, fellow fans. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to say, Brant?
Yeah, thank you, everybody. The last few Mondays, I know different times, but we still got a lot of people. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Once again, for being patient and waiting for your questions at the end there, because I know it's kind of a little change of pace today, but as I was just about to say, as always, it was lots of fun, just as William Bruno said. So yes, thank you, everybody, and can't wait to hear from the man himself next Tuesday going into Hammerstein.
We hope we got as many questions out that we could. We wanted to cover as many topics as we could. Thank you. All right, you ready to do it, brother? This we're not used to ending in under 2 to 3 hours.
It's all good. I can get used to it though.
Not me, man. I'm a marathon guy. Okay.
All right. All right. Ready?
Are you said I'm a marathon guy.
I'm about to say you set yourself up there for that one.
Yeah. I get sweaty taking a shit. All right. Oh God.
Long. Live.
Say it with me, guys.
GCW.
Love you guys. Good night.